Hi, I'm Natalie Cooper, and 8 months pregnant. I stood frozen in disbelief as my sister-in-law, Emily, loaded my baby shower gifts into her car. They were meant for me anyway, she said, clutching the custom-made blanket embroidered with my unborn son's name. Right, Mom? My mother-in-law, Susan, nodded without hesitation. Emily's been trying for years. She deserves this more than you do. I instinctively cradled my belly, trying to process the scene. The beautiful nursery I'd spent months preparing, sage green walls, hand-painted clouds, the heirloom rocking chair, was being stripped bare. All this while my husband David was conveniently out of town on a business trip. You can't do this, I managed, my voice trembling. These gifts were given to me for my baby. Look, I grabbed a card from one of the unopened presents, holding it up as proof. It has my name on it, to Natalie and baby Cooper. Emily barely glanced at it, her lips curling in a smirk. Oh please, everyone knows I've been trying to have a baby for years. They probably wrote your name out of pity. I mean, how long have you even been married to David? 18 months, Susan cut in, her tongue sharp. And let's not forget how rushed that wedding was. Emily and Jason have been married 6 years. They've earned this. I felt my baby kick, as if sharing my outrage. Yesterday, this nursery had been perfect, a haven of love and anticipation. Now, it was a battlefield. The rocking chair stays, I said firmly, my voice steadying. It's from my grandmother. It has nothing to do with you. Emily paused, her hand already on the chair. Mom, tell her, it's perfect for my nursery. Your nursery? I snapped. You're not even pregnant. The room fell silent. Susan's face hardened as she stepped forward. How dare you? Do you know how cruel that sounds? Emily has been through so much, while you, she gestured dismissively at my belly. You probably trapped David with this pregnancy. My cheeks burned with anger and humiliation. This pregnancy wasn't a trap. It was a joy David and I had planned together. But Susan had never believed that. To her, I was the outsider, the interloper who had stolen her son. I'm calling David, I said, pulling out my phone. Susan and Emily exchanged a glance, and for the first time, doubt flickered in their eyes. David will understand, Susan said quickly, recovering her composure. He knows how much Emily wants a baby, and honestly, Natalie, you can afford to replace these things. You work, don't you? Emily doesn't have that luxury. I hit David's contact, putting the call on speaker. It rang once. Twice. The number you are trying to reach is currently unavailable. Of course, he was on a flight to Chicago. They had timed this perfectly. Emily resumed her looting, humming softly as she piled more gifts into her car. The diaper bag from David's aunt. The hand-knitted onesies from my best friend. The baby monitor system my coworkers had pulled together to buy. Stop, I cried, my voice cracking. Please stop. These aren't yours. Susan sighed like I was a child throwing a tantrum. Natalie, you need to understand what family means. Family is sacrifice. Emily is David's sister, his real family. And when she finally has a baby, that child will be David's real niece or nephew. Your baby, she paused, her gaze icy. Well, we'll see. Her words hit me like a punch to the stomach. Even now, 8 months pregnant with their grandchild, they didn't see me or my baby as family. I sank into the rocking chair, too overwhelmed to stand. Through blurred vision, I watched as they ransacked my nursery, taking not just gifts, but the love and hope they represented. To them, I wasn't family, and to them, my baby, their grandchild, wasn't either. As Emily and Susan carried the last box out, leaving the nursery eerily barren, something inside me snapped. Maybe it was pregnancy hormones, or maybe it was the months of their subtle manipulation finally boiling over. I pulled out my phone and opened the camera. What are you doing? Emily froze halfway down the driveway, clutching the custom baby blanket. Documenting theft, I said, my voice steady despite the storm raging inside me. Every single gift, every card with my name on it, every receipt, they're all recorded. Susan stormed back up the path, her face flushed with anger. Put that phone away this instant. How dare you accuse us of theft? We're family. Family doesn't steal from family, I replied, focusing the camera on her. And family definitely doesn't steal from an unborn baby. Emily's lower lip trembled, her go-to tactic when cornered. Mom, she's being so mean. After everything we've done for her. I let out a sharp, bitter laugh. Everything you've done. Like what? Criticizing my wedding? Undermining my pregnancy? Or maybe you mean guilt-tripping me every step of the way. Enough? Susan barked. David will hear about this disrespectful behavior. Augie will, I said, locking eyes with her. Every word, every detail, every video. Their expressions faltered for a split second before they turned and loaded the last box into Emily's car. I stood in the driveway, watching as they drove off with my baby's gifts. But I wasn't defeated. Not yet. I immediately called Lauren, my best friend and co-host of the baby shower. They did wait at. Lauren's outrage crackled through the speaker. I'm on my way, and I'm bringing backup. Within an hour, my living room was packed with allies. Lauren, my sister Kate, and 3 colleagues who had attended the shower. Together, we went to work. We cataloged the gift list, photos from the shower, cards, and receipts. Kate, a junior lawyer, was meticulous. This isn't just petty behavior, Kate declared, her voice steely. This is premeditated theft. They waited until David was unreachable, classic intent. As we worked, my phone buzzed with a text from Emily. Thanks for understanding about the gifts. Baby stuff is so expensive these days. Lauren snatched my phone to read the message and let out an incredulous laugh. She's thanking you for letting her rob you? Oh, save that text. It's a written confession. A second buzz followed, this time from Susan. I expect you to apologize to Emily for your attitude today. She's very upset. David would be ashamed of how you've acted. Kate rolled her eyes, taking screenshots. Textbook gaslighting. They're trying to flip the narrative and paint you as the villain. My friend stayed late, helping me calm down and prepare for the next steps. Around 8 p.m., my phone lit up with David's name. Honey? His voice was confused, laced with concern. Mom just called. She said you had a meltdown and attacked Emily? I took a deep breath, steadying myself. David, listen carefully. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, and I have witnesses and evidence to back it all up. As I recounted the events, his initial confusion shifted to stunned silence. When I finished, he was quiet so long, I thought the call had dropped. Send me everything, he finally said, his voice tight with anger. Videos, photos, texts, everything. I'm catching the next flight home. But your business meeting can wait. This is more important. He paused, exhaling sharply. I'm so sorry, Nat. I should have seen this coming. The way they've been acting since we announced the pregnancy. After we hung up, Lauren squeezed my hand. You know this isn't about the gifts, right? It's about control. They're testing how much you'll tolerate. She was right. This wasn't just about a few baby shower presents. This was about boundaries, ones they had been pushing since day one. I glanced at my sister. Kate, how would you like to handle this legally? Kate's grin was sharp. I thought you'd never ask. First thing tomorrow, we're filing a police report. Then, we're getting a restraining order. Isn't that a little extreme? I asked, rubbing my belly as my baby gave an emphatic kick. Extreme? Lauren cut in. They robbed your unborn child in front of you, after planning it so your husband couldn't intervene. A restraining order is just step 1. As if on cue, another text from Susan arrived. Emily's been crying for hours. I hope you're happy with yourself. Don't bother coming to Sunday dinner until you've learned to be a proper Cooper family member. I handed the phone to Kate, who added it to her growing file of evidence. We'll be skipping Sunday dinner, all right, she said grimly. We'll be busy filing charges. That night, as I sat in the empty nursery, I felt a strange calm settle over me. They thought they were punishing me, teaching me my place in their twisted hierarchy. But instead, they'd given me the final push to stand up for myself and for my baby. David arrived home at dawn, his face a mixture of exhaustion, anger, and guilt. He didn't even pause to set down his bags before heading straight to the nursery. The sight of it, stripped bare, seemed to harden his resolve. Without a word, he pulled out his phone and called his mother. Return everything. Now, he said, his voice sharper and colder than I'd ever heard. I mean it, Mom. Every single gift. Back in this house by noon, or I'm going to the police. Susan's response crackled through the speaker. David, sweetheart, you don't understand. Emily needs help. David cut her off. And you need to stop enabling her behavior. Those gifts were for my child, your grandchild. Or have you conveniently forgotten that? By 8 a.m., Susan and Emily arrived with several boxes. David met them in the driveway while I watched from the living room window, Kate standing beside me, notepad in hand. The boxes were hastily packed, some half opened, and the custom baby blanket was conspicuously missing. David's expression darkened as he surveyed the scene. "Where's the rest?" he asked, his voice low but firm. "This is everything," Emily insisted, though her eyes darted nervously to the ground. "Really?" David held up his phone. "Because Lauren sent me the full gift list, complete with photos. Should we go through it item by item?" Susan stepped forward, her voice full of forced calm. "David, let's not blow this out of proportion. We're family. Surely we can work this out." "We are working this out," David replied, his tone cutting through her deflection. "Right now, we're discussing how you and Emily robbed my pregnant wife while I was away. We're discussing how you've treated Natalie like an outsider since the day we got married. And we're discussing how all of it stops today." Emily burst into tears, her trademark response when things didn't go her way. "It's not fair," she sobbed. "I've been trying for so long, and she doesn't deserve." "Enough." David's voice boomed, silencing everyone. "Emily, your struggles don't give you the right to steal. And Mom, your favoritism doesn't give you the right to bully my wife. Now, where is the blanket?" The truth came out an hour later when Emily's husband, Jason, arrived at our doorstep with the missing blanket in hand. He looked embarrassed and apologetic as he handed it over. "I didn't know," he admitted, avoiding eye contact. "Emily told me you gave her the gifts because you didn't need them. I'm so sorry. She's been lying about a lot of things, hasn't she?" It was the first crack in the facade, but it wouldn't be the last. Over the next few days, Kate helped us file a police report, though we ultimately decided not to press charges on one condition. David demanded that Susan and Emily attend family counseling if they wanted any future relationship with us or our child. "But we don't need counseling," Susan protested during a tense family meeting. "We were just trying to help Emily." "Help her by stealing from a pregnant woman?" David snapped. "By planning it when I wasn't here to stop you? By trying to manipulate Natalie into thinking she was the problem? That's not help, it's abuse." The real breakthrough came a week later during the first counseling session. Emily admitted what we had suspected all along. She and Jason had never been trying for a baby. "I just couldn't stand it," she sobbed. "Natalie gets everything so easily, the perfect wedding, the perfect pregnancy. Mom always said I was supposed to have those things first." Susan sat in stunned silence as her carefully crafted narrative crumbled. The therapist didn't let her off the hook, gently but firmly guiding her to see how her favoritism had fueled Emily's insecurities and damaged her relationships with David and her unborn grandchild. 3 months later, I gave birth to a healthy baby boy. The nursery was fully restored, but with one new addition: security cameras. Susan and Emily were allowed to visit, but only after completing their counseling sessions and offering genuine apologies. Emily's first visit was tentative. She sat on the edge of the couch, watching the baby sleep in his crib. "I understand if you can't forgive me," she said quietly. "What I did was unforgivable." "It was," I agreed, my voice steady. "But this little guy deserves to know his aunt. The real you, not the person your mother wanted you to be." Susan's transformation took longer. But when she finally saw her grandson, something seemed to shift. She stood over his crib, tears rolling down her cheeks. "He has David's eyes," she whispered. "I almost missed this because of my own stubbornness. Today, things aren't perfect, but they're better." Emily continues her counseling, slowly unraveling the jealousy and resentment that had consumed her. Susan is learning how to be a grandmother instead of a puppet master. And David, he's more protective than ever, ensuring our little family is shielded from toxicity. As for me, I've learned that the greatest act of love isn't always forgiveness. It's setting firm boundaries and demanding respect. My son will grow up knowing that while family is important, self-respect is essential. Looking back, I realized the empty nursery was a turning point. What once represented their cruelty now stands as a symbol of strength, filled with love, protected by boundaries, and surrounded by people who understand that true family lifts you up instead of tearing you down.